Happy Thursday. So I don't usually do live videos on my profile, but I have to tell you about this woman who I just got off the phone with, and she is a client of mine. She's a double client, and I'll kind of explain the story as I go. She came to me about a year and a half ago, January of last year, through the O class, which is always a good move, always a good move. And it's funny because so many women who come to me and work through that course with me, they come from all kinds of different backgrounds. And it's hilarious because when I used to take the phone calls for women who were considering it, I would hear so many different stories. Some of these women had never kissed anyone until their wedding day. And I had talked to former strippers who'd had 3 husbands and children by all of them, So everyone had a preconception, especially because I was coming from the Christian worldview, of who I normally talked to. And they were sure that they were either not the norm or they were the norm or whatever. But the reality is I've talked to women who have come from all kinds of different backgrounds and all kinds of different experiences and all kinds of different levels of understanding of sex and this whole part of their lives and how important it is. Most of them are out of alignment, of course, in some way, or they wouldn't bother to come to me. Some more than others. This woman was kind of already killing it, right? But she just needed a couple little tweaks. But what happens for many of these women, regardless of the background they come from, is that they get so passionate about what I'm talking about, right? And so a lot of times they'll get in there and they're in their first module and they'll text me or email me like, what the heck? Why doesn't everyone know this? Why weren't we taught this? Why aren't women raised knowing this stuff? Like, please, you need to tell everyone about this, right? And I'm like, I know. Hey, Charisse. We know this is important, right? But they'll go from whatever kind of closed off space they're in, and then they'll get super passionate about what I'm doing. And a lot of them will be like, how can I help? I'm telling everyone I know about this. I'm trying to talk to women about this. Most of them aren't even comfortable with the topic. Like, I want to somehow spread this message in the world because I see how much it's transformed me or my marriage or my children or whatever it is. And everyone needs to know this stuff. And I happen to fully agree. Couldn't agree more. And they have their various ways of doing that. We have an affiliate program. We have different ways that I do joint ventures with people who already have an audience. And it's a beautiful community in and of that piece of sharing already. But this particular woman, who I'm here to brag about today, decided to take it to the next level, right? And I'm very tempted to go on a rant right now, but I won't. I have done this. I see people do this all the time. I see people in their 60s, 70s, 80s doing this, and that is they want something, or they claim they want something, and no matter how overpowering that desire may feel to them, they just can't quite bear to bring it into reality because of whatever obstacles, perceived or real, internal or external, that they see, right? There's this like, that would be awesome, but I would love to do that, except. And so Darian was passionate about spreading this idea, and she came to me and she's like, I don't even just want to teach women, I actually want to reach the children who are being hurt by this, the children in the families where there's this sexual dysfunction or it's not being passed down well, or children who have been hurt, or even older kids, preteens, teens who have not been able to have the kind of healthy conversations about this topic with someone. And so they're making these mistakes. They're all over the place. Then they're hiding in shame. Then they're repeating it. Then someone else is abusing them. And they get to their 20s and to maybe their first marriage, and it's a disaster because of everything they've got trailing behind them. And so she came to me and she's like, I really feel called to help the kids, And I want to do business coaching with you. So this is why it's double client now. And I want to actually bring this into reality. And I mean, I don't even think I've told her this, but I love it when people say that to me, and I wait and see how serious they are. You know what I'm saying? I wait and see like, oh, that's, really cool fantasy. And I don't say that to them, right? But I'm thinking they've got this idea. They're passionate about it. They think this is awesome. I think it's important. And we'll see how long this lasts. Because I know from being an entrepreneur for over 5 years now that this is the biggest personal development course you will ever take in your life, dealing with all of your fears and demons and obstacles and excuses and perceived limitations as you birth something that you feel called to. So I know that she was passionate about it, but I kind of wanted to see if she was going to do anything with it. And she has, right? But she did at that time, like every single obstacle. Okay, well, business coaching is not free. Boom, fine. Well, the payment plan will make it happen. I'm on it. Okay, well, here's all of the stuff. Boom, like this giant, like massive pile of textbooks essentially that we're going to have to work through, that we're going to have to teach on, that you're going to have to learn and figure out and sort through and make your own decisions about and implement or not, and then tweak it to your style, and it's going to work or it's not going to work probably at first, and you're going to have to keep hacking at it until it does. And she just keeps coming. She just keeps like taking it like a champ, to be honest. So she's like, we're going hard and heavy into this. This is not like set up, a blog and write about what you care about, and maybe you'll make like a penny a month. And no offense to anyone who wants to do that, but this is like, how do you build a sustainable business that also transforms people's lives? So we're talking about the hardcore phone sales that you have to do, the actual order and offer creation, what you're putting out in the marketplace. Is it actually truly transformational, right? Because I don't actually enjoy business coaching, to be totally honest with you guys. It does not excite me or light me up as much as all of the other much more fun coaching I get to do. And largely, and this sounds terrible, but my sweet business coaching friends love me anyway, I just don't feel like everybody needs to have something out there. Like I've heard a lot of ideas and I'm like, that's awesome. I hope that doesn't happen, And so I really have to be very, very, very invested in someone's vision for me to put my own time and effort into it, honestly. And so when Darian was like, I want to actually start preventing the issues that I've seen early by helping children, and particularly as we worked through it, we discovered really we're going to start with the mothers who are trying to protect and guide their children, and try to kind of stop the issues that then build and get worse more on the front lines, if you will, before they even hopefully happen. And what we know, and she knows from being in the O class, is that this really begins with the woman. This really begins with the mother and everything she's got going on with her past, with her thoughts, with her baggage, with her experiences and preconceptions and everything else that's limiting her. And she is consciously or unconsciously handing that down to her daughters and her sons. So we know that, right? But a lot of women who are of the mindset that they want to protect their children are not aware that maybe they're in there as part of the problem, and helping themselves is going to allow them to become part of the solution. So anyway, side note, but she keeps saying yes to the difficult, and I'm so impressed. I'm so impressed, right? So she's been doing the hard trainings. She's set up her calendar already to take calls. Taking calls is terrifying. She's like not really excited to get on video, but she's going to video film her whole course. She's got like a professional setup she's going to use. I had her go get professional pictures done. Okay, that's another huge barrier for most women, is the photo shoot, which brings out all of your insecurities, all of your fears, all of your excuses. And she nailed it. She's like checking everything off. So one, I'm bragging because I'm proud that there's been this kind of transformation. But two, I'm just bragging because like this is her. Right? I mean, as a coach, I get to guide and encourage and influence and shape people. But I don't get to make them say yes. I don't get to make them say yes. I can't. And a lot of times people will they'll have the desire and there won't even be an initial yes, right? Or they'll have the desire and they'll say the initial yes, but then the subsequent yeses get scary. And you have to keep saying yes over and over and over again for something this difficult and this large to come into reality, or it just won't. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but actually here's the truth. It will come into reality, but it will come to reality for somebody else, right? Like that's the Esther story. That Mordecai tells her, hey, look, if you don't step into this, God's going to get it done anyway. It's not like he's like foiled again, he's going to get it done anyway. But not through you, right? So someone else is going to step up, and we have these opportunities to say yes and to keep saying yes, even when the yes is hard. It's like not easy, doesn't make sense, illogical, the resources are not there, the time is not there, the support is not there, right? And that's on you. It's free will. You get to decide. Do you want to keep saying yes? So she is so impressing me because I keep kind of throwing her hard things to do, and she's just like hitting them out of the park. She keeps saying yes. So one, I'm just excited because I'm watching this thing birth simply through a woman's willingness to say yes, right? which is why I love the story of Mary so much. You guys know that if you've read my book, like the yes from a woman is the life starter, is the power piece, the power play even, okay? So I'm really proud of her, but also I know that this is a really important area that she's working in. I frankly do not feel called to work in it, okay? I have my areas I love to do. God always seems to be adding a new one, and I wish he'd leave me alone. But so far, I have not felt the need to work on the children and family side of this. Maybe as our kids get older, I will. But currently, I'm super focused on the women and what's going on with them in this area. So if this is something that you guys are interested in, make sure you stay tuned, stay posted. What she's doing is still unfolding. We just on that call, we're working through the course content, and it is going to blow your mind. I don't even know everything that she's going to teach in there because she's a nurse and she knows all of this stuff that I do not know. And it's going to be really well done. It's going to be, I think, the most comprehensive thing that's out there for helping children with this, for helping parents with this. She's going to cover all of the different ages and stages. She's going to bust through all of those lies that parents tell themselves of like, my kid's 11, they don't know anything about sex yet. No, they actually do. They just haven't heard anything from you. Everyone else has been teaching them. So it's going to be so well handled. And then on the back end, she's going to be leading women through sometimes what is the painful realization that everything that they're carrying is shaping their children as well. And part of their role as a mother is to be on their own journey. Because at the end of the day, they're not going to do what you say, they're going to do what they saw you do and what they saw you convey, right? So her name is Darian Brown. I believe she's getting her Facebook page set up as we speak with her beautiful new photos. And her entire purpose, her little tagline that we've worked on, is helping mothers keep their children safe sexually in a broken world. I am just so excited, guys. I'm so excited. Like, she's the real deal. And that's hard to find. So I'm pumped. And if there's anything for you guys to take from this, if you don't have kids, if that's not you yet, if you're not thinking, yes, I need to be having these hard conversations and know all of the factors and all of the other influences that are out there, just say yes. Just say yes. Nothing can be created if you don't say the initial yes and then keep saying yes. And it's hard and it's scary. It scares the poop out of me. But what's the alternative? It's to live feeling dead. And I'm not about that, right? I love you guys. Have a beautiful Thursday. Have a gorgeous weekend. It's finally less than 100 degrees here in the desert, so I'm going to have a gorgeous weekend. I love you all so much, and I'll talk to you soon.